Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Imi and my channel is all about veganism, zero waste and minimalism, and helping you transition to each or all of these lifestyles, whichever one you're interested in. So today I'm going to be talking about zero waste beginners tips. When I started out down this sort of zero waste journey, I really didn't know what I was doing, who I should be listening to, what I should be watching, what I should be doing. So I just wanted to pull together a few ideas to help you get started. Now, a lot of you who watch my channel probably already know these tips, but it's just a really good way to introduce yourself to the zero waste lifestyle. So hopefully you'll all be able to pick up something that will be particularly useful to you. And if you think of any more tips, I would love to hear them down below, so feel free to leave a comment. Always love hearing what you guys have to say. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing, which is probably the most obvious but needless to say should be said, ditch the plastic bags and always opt for a canvas bag. Now, canvas bags are super cheap, or you can pick them up. I mean, I got a free one from the Vegan Futures Festival last year, which was such an awesome festival. And you can also buy them online in shops, anywhere. You can go to a thrift store and get them secondhand. You can buy them from almost any supermarket now as well, and they're just really great because it saves you money if you make sure that you're buying just one or two, however many you need, and you're reusing them and keeping them in good condition. And also you're saving the planet at the same time, because one-use items like plastic bags are just incredibly detrimental, and they use a huge amount of resources, firstly to make and then to destroy. So yeah, canvas bags are the number one priority, I think. Number two is ditch your single-use kitchen items. I made a whole video about zero waste kitchen swaps, which I'll link down below, which will go into more depth about this. But things like cling film, aluminium foil, they're just completely unnecessary, and really it's just kind of making us a bit lazy. I know that I was definitely lazy when I started out, and I would use foil. I'd always use foil when I was making my sweet potatoes and things like that, because I just couldn't be bothered to wash up my dishes afterwards. And I think if we just get a bit more organized, we make sure we have the right equipment, you know, get yourself a non-stick oven tray. If you get something like that, then it'll be easy to clean anyway. So you just get organized, make sure that you're swapping those out for something that's not a one-time use but a long-term use. So instead of cling film, for example, if you need to wrap something up, buy yourself a dish just a bit like this, which is glass on the bottom and then silicone on the top, and that will last you for a really long time, especially if you take care of it. So as I said before, there's another video I've done completely on zero waste kitchen swaps, which is down below, so you can take a look at that. The next one is probably another pretty simple one, but it's always opt for naked packaging. And when I say naked packaging, I mean buying food that is not wrapped in anything and it just comes in its pure form. This is where canvas bags come in really handy, because if you want to buy, say, lots of mushrooms and you've managed to find them loose in the naked packaging, if you use one of your canvas bags or a small cotton bag, then you're able to just put all the stuff in your cotton bag and then take it to the till like that. Sometimes they'll just take it out of the bag and weigh it like that, or they'll just leave it in the bag, especially if you get very thin ones, so they're incredibly light and it won't make much of a difference at all on how much you're spending. So when you can, opt for naked packaging and do your research and find out where is best to find the foods that you still love and still want, but without packaging. Number 4 is bring your own cutlery. There are so many places that I go to, especially when I'm traveling. I always bring a knife, a fork and a spoon. Or if you want to opt for just a spork, that's going to be obviously more convenient because it's only going to be a one item thing. I like to bring 3 things just in case, and because I like eating with a knife and fork. But I took them on holiday this year when I went to Barcelona, when I went to Copenhagen, because me and my friends like to sort of travel on a budget, so we like to buy things from supermarkets and stuff like that, as well as going to restaurants, so that when we can save a bit of money, but then when we are eating those foods, it's easier if you have your own knife and fork, so you don't need to pick up a plastic fork or a wooden fork, because even though obviously wooden forks and knives are much better than plastic forks, you still want to cut down on your one-time use items so you're not throwing anything away and nothing's going to landfill. And it's so easy and very light and convenient to carry a spork or a knife and fork in your bag, so I really would encourage you and urge you to go for one of those instead. Okay, so number 5 is say no to straws. I know a lot of places will just bring you your drink with a straw without even sort of asking you or letting you know that it comes with a straw, which I know it might sound silly, but just always say to them, if there's a straw, I would like to opt to not have one. I remember when I lived in America, a straw would come with absolutely any drink that you bought, all the time and always, and you'd always get even just a glass of water, they'd always bring you a straw. And I don't know why it baffled me, because we really don't use straws very much in England. But what I would suggest is either refuse and either go for no straw at all, or you can buy yourself some of these metal straws. These metal straws or glass straws, whichever one you would prefer. I think they're stainless steel stainless steel straws. And they will last you such a long time, especially if you take care of them. And they're just a bit more hygienic as well than plastics straws, even though you would obviously throw plastic straws away. But I mean, if you're thinking of, if you had plastic straws, reusing them, it's not actually very hygienic because they can grow bacteria very easily. So a big encouragement is to ditch the straws and buy yourself a stainless steel, a glass straw, or just simply go a strawless life. Okay, so number 6 is go paperless. With things like bills, you just really in this day and age do not need to have them sent through your door every day. And things like bank statements as well. Everything is available online and you can save everything to your computer. There is absolutely no need to get your bills and keep them or shred them or recycle them or whatever. Everything seriously can be done online now, and it's so much easier, it's more convenient for you. You don't have to wait for anything to come through, and it's just a lot more environmentally friendly because you're not chopping down more trees and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So, and it's a really simple thing to do, and it's a really easy one to do. So what you should do, if you are thinking about going paperless, going like that, you should go online for all the bills or the bank statements that you have that actually come through to you and see if they have a paperless option. And if they actually don't, I suggest maybe even getting in touch with them and saying, I would like to go paperless because I don't, I want to improve my footprint and I just I don't need to have paperless statements sent to me. So you can always email them, and that would be a great way to even get them thinking and maybe even implementing this rule into their company. Because in this day and age, it kind of just seems a bit silly when everything is digital for it not to get your statements digital as well. Yeah, so that's number 6. Okay, and I think the last thing to say is, before you start, you don't need to invest in a load of crap that you don't really need. But what I would say is make sure that you are organized and prepared. There are certain things that I have suggested that I think you need, but then if you are transitioning and you want to have a few things that will just kind of automatically help you cut down on your waste, is definitely, as I said at the beginning, a canvas bag. Get yourself a water bottle, maybe get some reusable jars, because if you're going to be buying in bulk, you're going to be wanting to reuse your cotton bags that you're buying those bulk items in. So you'll want jars or something that is sustainable and reusable and will last a long time. So things like jars, mason jars, stuff like that, you can use those to store your items so that you have your cotton bags free to go and buy some more items. And also remember the 5 R's, which are: refuse what you do not need, reduce what you do not need, reuse what you consume, recycle what you cannot refuse, and reduce or reuse and rot the rest. So rotting obviously is referring to composting, and if you're not really ready to tackle composting yet, don't worry, these are just zero waste beginners tips. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if it was useful and you'd like these kind of videos. I have been making quite a few different kinds of videos lately, so it would be really interesting and important to me if you commented down below and let me know which videos you actually enjoy watching. And yeah, I will try and adhere to those and make sure I'm making videos that you guys actually want to see and are actually finding useful. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.